Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Thea 2 The Shattering, where honestly I feel like we have the best start we have had yet. I mean, I don't think this position is the best start we've had yet. Like, obviously it would be great if we had more than one improved resource around, but I think our party's in a really good place. That witch seems extremely powerful. We're going to have to remember to try to focus mysticism on female children in future games, and honestly, probably even in the future of this game. And I feel like we're way more capable of handling challenges in general this game than we have been in a lot of our games. So, we need to keep powering people up. We need to get more XP and more advancement points. To that end, we have quests that we should be doing. For some reason, none of our quests are in the tracker right now. Can I? Okay. Opening this. Let's put them back down. So, we have... This is the Red Ridge Bandit Camp. This is one of the Smith locations, and the other one's all the way over there. It's very inconvenient. And then our Divine Path quest takes us this way. Let's go down to the lake and see if we can deal with the Dwarven Smith's daughters. We also definitely want to keep talking to the Slavians, trying to push forward our reputation with them. We have a thing to defeat over here on that front, but let's not worry about that right this second. We also need to figure out what else we want to use our crafters for. So hold on, where are we at on morale right now? Okay, we're at the plus task efficiency threshold. So for our town's purposes, it's not that helpful to gain morale until we can push it up to at least 80. But for adventuring characters, like plus 10% damage, plus 10% hit points, plus 1 move. So we do want to try to cook a little bit. Basically what I'm wondering here is if it's worth spending an advancement point picking up more recipes. What other recipes could we make? We could do fish and... yeah, we could do grilled fish as well. So let's put a couple of our crafting characters on cooking for a moment. You can do that, and then you can take over the hunter's position on the gold. And we're going to have the hunter go and initiate the encounter with the Rusalkas. We're learning. I feel really good about our advancement here. Take a little bit of food. I mean, whatever. Just grab food. Carry 123 fish 10 feet into the distance and then bring them all back. It's good for you. It's like, it's calisthenics, you know? Alright, you find the lake where Budon's granddaughters may be hiding. You come to a small lake and see 3 Rusalkas dancing. Ah yes, the Rusalka melody. So, we could have one of our female characters just go and talk to them. Or we could use this magic user option. I mean, maybe I'm leaning too hard on our witch, but our witch seems to be kind of good at everything. I guess both of these options are her. Let's have her, let's use our knowledge of magic to not be swayed by their tricks. Oh no, they turn to you, changed. You're deaf to our song, but not to our kiss. Come play. That's not somebody I want to kiss very much. Alright, well let's try, do we want to do this as a difficulty 4 red challenge, or a difficulty 4 purple challenge? Okay, I want to do it as a purple challenge, because remember, we've seen in the past, having very low red health can cause a character to die, having very low yellow health can cause a character to leave, but having very low purple health just drains your red health slowly over time, and we can use that ritual to fix it if this turns out not to be doable. So out of curiosity, what would we hit on the auto-resolve? Victory with serious injuries? I might just accept that outcome. It's possible that we could do better, but it's also possible that I would do a lot worse, as we have seen in the past. I'm happy with that outcome. The Rusalkas lie dead, and judging by the age of these corpses, these were not the young girls you were searching for. Okay, so that answers a question I had. The last 2 times we did that quest, the daughters were at the one of the 2 places that we went to first, so I was wondering if it was always the case that wherever you went first was the place they were. But now we know. Got ourselves actually a pretty decent artifact, and a pretty decent relic. And also a spiritual blessing, and also a permanent mysticism bonus, I think. That's pretty good. The water demons did not care for that. I have no idea how many, like, total factions there are. It seems like there might be a whole lot. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we will still get the city interacting with this thing. So we should go and do that. This is the Red Ridger camp, right? So we're probably going to try to do the same thing we did last time, where we approach them to talk. We flex a little bit, which doesn't help. It's just fun to do. Try to haggle with them. I don't think there's any chance that we could win a difficulty 6 challenge right now. So we do the manual resolve, and we just retreat immediately in the first turn. Ooh, what is this? I'm assuming that must be an orc, because I was going to say, wait a second, are there actually other goblin classes other than craftsmen? But there's no way this is a goblin. We know that there are orc characters available and stuff. I really do. I have a lot of curiosity about the other races. Wow, wait a second. Zosha has 57 max sanity? Really? You know what? We're actually a lot better at yellow challenges than we have been in some previous games. We still can't win this, but not bad. Okay, so we take a little bit of damage, and then they offer us some additional quests, and we'll try to figure that out. So, filthy scavengers by the lake or the mine. It looks like we probably will get... Yeah, we probably will get the town in this challenge as well, I think. So we may as well just go over here and do it, right? These will be the scavengers, not the mine, I'm assuming. Do we see where... Okay, here's a new... Oh no, that's not new. That's the Slavian town. Okay, didn't actually open up an active quest branch. Oh, right here. Right here it would be the mine. So, I don't really want to kill a bunch of scavengers necessarily. I certainly don't want to be committing murder on behalf of these dudes. I'm wondering if maybe we should just fall back and interact with this thing instead. That said, I also don't really want to come back down here. Alright. We don't necessarily have to kill them. Let's just have a look. You come across a small settlement, or at least what typically passes as one for scavengers. It is shabby and dark, and smells of rotten flesh. You see a few people sitting around a badly made fire. There are a few kids, thin, feral-looking, some grown-ups with visible ailments, such as skin growths, missing limbs, scabs, coughing up blood, and such. Some of the people have weapons. 5, by your count. It looks like they need help. They're relatively tough. I wonder if we could talk them into just, like, going away, and then tell the Red Ridge guys that we killed them. The settlement goes quiet, and the small group approaches you with weapons drawn. A middle-aged, heavy-set woman rolls in from behind the armed group and speaks, her voice distorted by scabs covering her lips and face. Yeah, these people are having a rough go of it. Who are you, then? You come to stick us? We could prepare for a fight. We could try to yellow challenge them out, say that we came here to warn them that the bandits have new allies and are about to come kill them. Maybe this would cause them to run off. Or we could tell them I do not want to harm them, but I was asked by the Red Ridge bandits to kill them. For the sake of divine providence, I must do... Oh, sorry, to get rid of them. Let's not paraphrase, because that's actually important. For the sake of divine providence, you must do so. Maybe they will be... I'm worried that this is just going to get us into a fight. But maybe they'd be willing to do stuff for the sake of divine providence. Maybe we could talk them into leaving. If we end up in a fight, we could just retreat, right? Yeah, let's just let them know. Let's tell them what the deal is. Those filthy buggers. Them lot who take our kin and kill us. Why are you doing their dirty work, eh? I am on the path of the divine. The bandits have what I need, the Red Cave, so I need the scavengers to move out. Yeah, okay, if we could get them to actually agree to this would be pretty good. We do not go nowhere. This is our patch, and if you don't go, we stick you like pigs. Okay, yellow challenge it is. I'm not super pleased about this. So they have... these are demons, huh? They have like a couple of normal characters, a wolf, although it looks like a pretty wise wolf, and then a bunch of demons. I'm assuming we would not succeed at this. Victory with grave injuries. At least one of your characters has ended up with fewer than 0 hit points. Let's attempt to resolve manually. And maybe we'll just end up having to retreat. But I don't really want to take the version of that that ends with a character at 0. So, how do we want to approach this? Yuzia has a 10 damage, 3.3 second daze, and an 18 damage 1 to 2 attack, or 1 to 2 targets. If she could do 18 damage to 2 targets, that would be pretty great. Let's put her out first. She doesn't have a huge amount of yellow health, so we're definitely going to have to defend her. What exactly are we up against here? Okay, that's a huge amount of health. And that attack is terrifying. We are allowed to use the boar. Zosha has a hammer blow attack. And then Bozidar has 20 points of armor. I think the play here might be... like, this has to be executed from the front. We could throw Migo down. And maybe I should have thrown Migo down last turn. Throw Migo down and then try to try to strengthen the swarm through this. He's so fragile, though. Yeah, I don't think I like that. Let's put down Bozidar in front of Yuzia. His attack is executable from the back, but I want him to absorb this. So the question is, do I put him here so that he would potentially also block for someone who is here? Or do we want to place him there so that they can't play in this column and get to our witch? Because our witch is vitally important. I think we put him here, because the witch really is, like, just tremendously important. And then we could also put down Zosha. Yeah, like Zosha here, Bozidar here gives us a little bit of room to work with behind a significant amount of health. Okay, we've been sludged a little bit. It's not the end of the world. So we have 10 damage from this. We probably do want to play Bratomir at some point here. I think I'm just going to play Yuzia behind Zosha. Yeah, and then we'll see what else we want to do. Okay, so their character's Random Blast is not as powerful as ours. So we do have a boar available. We also could do protection. I'm just trying to make sure I identify all of our options here. So they have... let's see. Of their seven command points, they've spent 4. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So they could just be about to play her again. What I'm wondering is if it's safe for us to play Bratomir, like, in the far corner, and then do protection on somebody, maybe? But unfortunately, we have to make the decision about who we would do protection on now. Because we already played Zosha once, the boar would use both of our points, which doesn't feel like the best option. And the boar does very poor damage during a yellow challenge, right? I can't. Yeah, I cannot see the boar, unfortunately. Or at least the normal inspect buttons are not allowing me to see the boar. We could put down Bozidar again. I'm pretty torn. And of course, the challenge, the Chosen, taking a significant amount of damage would be disastrous. It's so hard to know what's going to happen. I think I'm gonna put Bratomir down. Because 10 damage for a single command point is the best damage ratio that we still have available. And then we're gonna use protection on her, just in case. And we're going to go fingers crossed for good rolls on these attacks. Oh, interesting. They did not play the same character again. I think that's good for us. Oh, awesome. Very, very good. Let's see another double attack. Yes. Well, I do believe we have won this challenge. I guess, I'm sorry, they have actually a very significant number of cards remaining. But we're going to get a lot of damage on those cards right now. And I have to imagine that these are mostly going to be less effective in yellow challenges, or they would have played them first, right? Although they do have another full health Kamooch, which is a shame. So we probably don't want to put Zosha out again. She got roughed up pretty badly there. I think Random Blast from Yuzia with Bozidar in a protection position is probably the right play again. We're probably going to use some protection on him, so we can use Zosha to put out the boar for cheap, which will let us absorb a little bit of damage. So I think I want to play Yuzia again. Or we can just put the boar in front of her. Okay, the fairies are not too bad because they played them late enough. There's some chance that Random Blast is going to be like super good here. This is not my last turn. I definitely want to play my boar last, right? We could drop Jasia. She's not really in a position to take too much damage. And the hammer attack is pretty good here. She has a lot of yellow health. So if we did that, it's like play Jasia, use Biaklava for protection, and then with our last command point, Zosha summons the boar to stand here and just absorb damage. I kind of like that. Then we go Biaklava, lends protection to you. I do so love these boars. So yeah, the boar is terrible in yellow challenges, but he will absorb some damage. That's pretty good. That's a shame. That's a massive overkill. Okay, but we win, because we'll definitely damage out the last card here. Yeah, that was a much better outcome. And it looks like we got some permanent intelligence boosts. We got some tools and stuff. You speak with divine gravity and they cower before you. Okay, please, don't make the gods angry at us. This place is shit anyway, we go now. But those bandits, they be bad. Maybe you consider helping us instead. Alright, what did we get? We got a 1.8 increase gathering tool, a 25.5% increase gathering tool with some other stuff attached to it. That's not bad. And a dog. 2.8 perception increase. This is a very valuable pet. So, man, I sort of want to, right? These people were willing to be cool and talk to us, and I really do hate those bandits. But if this resolves the problem, that's good, right? Should I just take that? What do I think the odds are that the bandits are actually going to be true to their word? Hold on. How stupid am I? Of course they're not just going to let us into the thing. No, yeah, I'll agree to listen. What's the offer? Much was taken from us, and we weak. No more strong ones to fight to take back. Can you help? Why should I? Your bodies look well-fleshed, your eyes speak of food and clean water. We had no such luck. Our grandfathers and their grandfathers before them, they all sick, they weak, they die. Yes, you know the Dark Night well. Our grandfathers banished to walk the land, the sick rivers, the ailing forests, the cursed meats. We lived, but weak and flesh-ill or mind-aged. What of it? My family is growing weaker still. Shattering took our homes again. Your good flesh folk kill us. Your gods leave us to rot. But my kid was born good flesh. Maybe this brings hope. And someone took them. Yes, the other pack, the Red Ridgers, over the peak. We took them, took many manfolk. We're too weak now. If you do this, we have a way into this cave of yours. Yes, we do. Okay, I mean, it would be silly to ask why they don't do it themselves. We know why, because they're too weak. First of all, that's obvious, and secondly, they did explicitly tell us that already. Yeah, kidnapping children is a filthy deed. We'll help. Oh, good. You strange people, but good. How odd that is. Them bandits, they talk to you. They think you work for them. You give them this, my rod. You say you kill me, and you poison the buggers. Or just steal our kin back, or slaughter them. Either way, you get your cave, I promise. Okay, I think that that's a good outcome. I think that's the outcome we wanted. And we got to do a very confidence-increasing battle. I feel pretty good about our situation after that. So, do we want to strengthen ourselves a little bit before we go back to talk to them? Probably, right? Because it could turn out that the way this is going to end up is with us still having to do a pretty difficult challenge. We were able to pull that one off. We certainly don't want to go at it before people's bars are recovered. Actually, Zosha's almost all the way back up. So we need to give the wolf pet... Okay, let's bring the hunter back home. We need to give her this wolf pet, at the very least. Okay, so we've made a bunch more food. Their morale is all screwed up. Why is their morale bad? How do I see... Okay, you. Show me your morale value. Where's that even listed? Here we go. This character's morale is not great. No, this is only showing us the effects, not showing us the causes. So it's just her and the crafter who have lower than everybody else? Let's see. She's missing some purple health. Does purple health lower your morale? Looks like Zosha is at completely full. In fact, she's over the top of her max sanity somehow. That's pretty weird. I don't know what's going on with that. Huh. And I can't just, like, mouse over... No, there's no actual indication of why these guys are bummed out. Okay, we probably have enough fish cakes for a while. I could leave you on grilled fish. You can make some more grilled fish. So, do we want to pick up another set of cooking recipes, or do we want to just go straight into equipment? Are there any other buildings that I really want? We have a good source of wood. This just gives gems or metal or stone. We have a good source of metal. We don't have any stone or gem income whatsoever. We do have traders nearby, though. Actually, a trading post might be a good thing. It does provide a gem sometimes, just passively. And also, like, actually being able to trade with people is useful. We could get an armory. We don't have any children right now, but if we get some, we'll be happy we had a children's playground. Crop fields provide vegetables, right? We don't actually have a source of vegetables, so that would give us another set of cooking recipes that we can build. The herbalist's hut scares away the greedy claws of death. I think the dwelling just straight gives you morale, which also seems totally fine. But I'm wondering if maybe I've been over-focusing on buildings, and maybe we should be worried more about equipment. If we were going to pick up another thing of food, we have access to... It's like berries with fish as a secondary ingredient. We could make stuff here. We could make stuff here. We could make multiple ingredients in Grandma's Treats, right? Because we could make jam, and we could also make whatever you get with berries and wheat. Yeah, let's pick up another crafting recipe. Let's take this. See, it shows more ingredients in the secondary area here than it does here. Why is that? We go to cooking. Berry plus wheat is veggie bake, and berry plus berry is jam. So berries are actually really important. We use berries in a lot of our cooking. Let's get a bunch of this stuff built really quickly. I guess you do not need to be on cooking duty. You are terrible at it. Do we want to just jump her right back out and go to... we could swing by the mine and see what the deal is there, at least. We don't necessarily have to engage, probably. Yeah, let's do that. Let's give her the wolf first, because extra perception is super, super good on her. And then actually have a look at some of this stuff. So we have our gatherer here, and she does not currently have a gathering tool. This is totally fine for her. And then this at 1.8 is just the worst gathering tool that we own. So, I don't know. We may end up just, like, trading that. Our hunter does not have any jewelry. We should probably fix that one, because we have a little bit now. These are very similar, but not exactly the same. I might give the witch some jewelry as well, because we're going to play the witch into combats a lot. But we're not necessarily going to play her in the front row. The person we're most likely to play in the front row is actually Bozidar, who cannot wear jewelry, so whatever. Okay. Myslav, we still need to find him an offhand. Jasia is using an artifact, but we have an artifact that is considerably better. Melena should definitely have some kind of equipment. Let's see, she has mysticism. It's kind of an awkward group of stats for the equipment that we have here. Her destiny is pretty bad. We could just give her an axe. Yeah, I mean, her combat stats are just not good. There's no way around that, unfortunately. And then you would... Sorry, you would definitely benefit from this. Okay, and Zosha has like an okay artifact. Would she rather have a wand? Let's see, the artifact is scaling with Destiny and Wisdom. The wand is scaling with Destiny and Destiny. So no, we want her to have an artifact. She's actually like really good in yellow challenges with this. Okay. Right, I was here for a reason. I was going to send out the hunter again. Actually, let's have her stay in town for a turn, and let's do the restore your purple health ritual. It seems like it recovers pretty slowly. So we could just use some herbs. That's a very efficient way to execute this. I don't love the idea of using so much of our cooking supplies, though. Maybe we do like herbs and fish. Yeah, that's fine. So who is actually good enough at this to get it done in a single turn? You with a little bit of support. That means that you are free to, like, help gather gold for a moment. Okay, was that enough to completely restore her purple health? It was, yes. Take, like, a little bit of food. Not really going anywhere. Okay. Grain gathering's a little inefficient right now, but I think we still want to be gathering it. We need to be bringing in lots of different kinds of food. Alright, let's go investigate this cave. You find the entrance to the old gold mine, and from the bright light beaming out at you, you'd guess it is not unoccupied. You enter the tunnel and realize immediately that you are being watched. As you move forward, you see gold ore that shouldn't glimmer, but it does, as if it were purified and smelted already. You cannot yet see the light source that could cause such an effect. Well, we have been trying to stick to our magic domain, right? So I think we should try to take as many magic user options as possible. I'm not sure if these actually count for the purpose of, like, our divine quest, trying to make sure we stick to our domain, or if it will only be options that explicitly say the name of our domain on. There could be a thing behind the scenes, right, where it's tallying up points every time we have the option to do something kind of magic-y. We can also have Bozidar call out and just try to figure out what's going on with the demons that we were told guarding this place. Let's go magic-y. This place is beaming with power, but its source, or sources, are eluding your grasp. The walls seem to be pulsating with weaves of light, yet there is also a sense of stifling, a barrier that holds things tight and keeps something at bay. Whoever resides within is likely skilled in mysticism and determined to keep folk out. Okay, well, you know what? We're making deals today. Call out to whoever resides here and tell them we are interested in making a deal. You hear movement from the walls and echoes of voices within. Begone, leave, away, danger, darkness, lightness, leave. Okay, I know you're trying to keep something at bay here. We're very good at yellow challenges. Let us show you. Perhaps we can help. Yeah, I'll accept that. Several creatures of all shapes and sizes appear before you, only to scatter away again. A lone Karakanza demon stands firm and speaks in a slurping, almost growling voice. I am not going to try to do a slurping voice. You sensed our walls. You know things. Maybe you are worth more alive. What do you know of our barrier? I know little, only that it is made to hold something back. Perhaps even light itself? I mean, I have a pretty good idea why. Why? Why, you ask? Because it burns and shatters and takes those who are strong. We, Karakanza, we once gnawed at the roots of the cosmic tree, and now it is hidden. Our friends, house demons, they have few houses to go to, as the earth keeps swallowing all. Darkness was chased away and lurks only in the corners, so light bites back, bites hard. Yeah, I think we already knew light was attacking demons, didn't we? The creature shrugs. I suppose you could say that. It comes and burns, and then those humans by the cave, they catch us, they cage us, they sell us as toys. So we made a fort. We're safe here. Or we were, until the humans started sending their thugs. Well, I am here on their behalf. Or we could have Bozidar just freak out and swear to kill them all. Honestly, I think these demons would probably be pretty happy to hear us say this, but I don't know that I necessarily want to promise that I'm going to kill them, because that is a pretty difficult red challenge. And it actually might be the case at this point in the game that red challenges are the one we're worst at. But if we could talk the demons over onto our side and use the rod, I'm not 100% clear on what our plan is already. She said, give them the rod and then poison them or kill them or whatever. I'm not 100% clear if her rod is magically going to poison them, if that was what was being implied there, or if she was just saying, give them the rod and then, I don't know, figure it out. You know, like tell them we're gone, and then when they turn their backs on you, just kill them in whatever way you can. But if we have sort of a foothold already because of the rod, then having the demons on our side also give us some tool to make the challenge easier. Like, that might be the way you're supposed to do this, right? Let's swear that we'll kill every last one of them. I want these demons on my side, if we can do that. Wonderful, friend. We will hide for now, allow you better access. Beware, though. We do not make such deals twice, so you make it, you stick to it. You break it, we will never speak again. I remember how important demons, that's a bad way to start the sentence. I remember how seriously demons take their deal-making, so yeah, we should definitely not renege on this. So you go, lie to them, you speak the word, and we come to help. Good luck. Okay, and we got some research material. That's cool. We didn't actually have a lot of good research options, did we? No, we didn't have anything. Okay, well that's definitely interesting. I guess you can just immediately come back home. So we probably want to get a little bit stronger, and then go back to them, pretend like we did stuff for them, and then, you know, use whatever trickery is available. We say the word, and the demons will come to help. Not 100% clear on exactly how this is going to unfold. Alright, let's look at people's carry weight. So, when we go to the Red Ridgers, we don't actually have to have anybody leave the town except for the person who's initiating, because it's happening close enough to the town that we'll get everybody on board as it is. So we should make armor for everyone. We are probably looking at a red challenge, but a red challenge that has probably been made a little bit easier. So, we have this book. Huh. That's weird. Why is it showing... Oh, because I still have somebody else selected. I was going to say, why is it showing that this is a 1.2 modifier on mysticism, but it's only providing 4.2 damage? That's because I had, apparently, somebody on the other page still selected. Okay, so, do we have anybody else who would benefit from a book? I don't think we have a lot of high mysticism people. No, we don't. So we don't need to learn how to make books. The book that we have here will be the one book that we have for a while. We need to learn how to make good armor. And then we should figure out how to make weapons. I'm not sure, like, even if we do want to stick with, like, javelins and spears, we should probably make better ones, right? Although, I don't know if we can, like, this one has a significant amount of essence behind it, actually. Let's see, you are... You're just kind of not good with any weapon. You can't be given a weapon, but we could give Bozidar a shield. Yeah, how do we make shields? That would actually be really handy. So if we're thinking we wanna go to some kind of armor, we're talking about probably like 3 advancement points to make good armor. It would be even more to make good shields, and then if we want to do pole arms... Okay, here we go. Spears and pole arms are not in the same class, so if we wanted to make a ranged weapon for our hunter, we gotta put a bunch of points into ranged weapons. And basically, we just need a lot more advancement points if we want to power up completely. Maybe it's too greedy to try to go to 2 stars on everything right now. Alright, here's how I want to start. Let's get this done. So we'll have Zosha, who is great at rituals because of Goblin, and you, who is great at rituals because of Witch. Okay, we can't quite get to 200. That's a shame. Well then, the 2 of them will handle it. That'll get us 1 more advancement point. With 4 advancement points, we could go to like 1-star armor and 1-star a weapon class. I feel like we just need a lot more advancement points. So it might be a good idea for us to form a little expedition, right? Maybe we learn how to make decent armor. We armor up a couple of our people, and we go out looking for terrain artifacts. We could also, with a couple of people with some decent gear, we could go clear that, was it a beehive, I think? For the Slavians, we could try to trade with the Slavians to get some more stuff. We do need to pursue the dwarf's daughter's quest. Yeah, I think the thing we're doing here is we are arming up for an expedition. Oh, actually, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about the jump cut there. Something occurred suddenly that had to be dealt with. But we are back. And while I was fixing things, I was thinking about weapons a little bit. So I think that probably what we want to do right now is take an armor building advancement rather than a weapon building advancement, because our weapons are okay, but for the most part we don't even have any armor. But for the future, when we are making our weapon decisions, I was trying to figure out what I really think of all the different weapon classes. So swords give shielding, right? Swords improve your shielding, which has some obvious benefit, especially on characters whose job it is to stand in front and get hit. In addition, swords are pretty fast, so you actually get your attack out. Great swords have that 3-unit horizontal attack, but I think it's pretty hard to know for sure whether you're going to be able to get any benefit out of that, because, first of all, obviously you don't have any idea how the opponent is going to play their cards in combat, but secondly, it seems like there's no way to predict or affect the width of the combat field. That horizontal slash move is way less good on a 7-card wide field than it is on a 4-card wide field. So, unfortunately, you don't have a lot of control over whether those kinds of splash attacks are actually going to be valuable or not. And the same applies to pretty much the same degree to the hammer splash effect, and to a slightly lesser degree to the spear column attack. Because at least with the column attack, you can know that, in general, people are incentivized to play their back row characters behind front row characters for the purpose of making the back row characters hard to hit. But I think the value of the splash attack on the two-handed swords is pretty difficult to predict, which makes me not want to be reliant on it. Swords have a lot else going for them, so we might go for swords as our melee weapon of choice, but it's hard to know exactly how valuable they'll be. Axes are just awesome damage. It's just like if you're trying to kill a particular thing, the axe is the way you do that. And because of the fact that the parties in this game, it's not so much the case with animals, where probably they're all good physical fighters, but as we move up into more like combat against parties of other sentient, sapient beings, we're seeing more like, well, I have a wizard and I have a healer. And in situations like that, it's really valuable to be able to remove the characters who are good at the challenge quickly, so that you can spend more time working over the weaker characters. And you can think about like the purple challenges that drove us out of our first game, where it was only really one of the Lightbringers that was any good at purple. We've even seen it in this game with the one character being really good at yellow, backed up by a bunch of cards that are just kind of whatever. So I think axes are probably pretty great. It seems like being able to really focus your damage and take down one or two important people is going to matter a lot. Clubs, like I said, the splash damage is very unpredictable. It's hard to know how good it will be in any given combat, and the combination of low speed and only sometimes high damage makes me feel like you don't really want to take the club and hammer crafting skill. If you find a good hammer, go ahead and use it, but this seems not great. And then spears, the columnar attack is fine. There are good reasons to put people in columns, so you're going to get some free hits there. But I think what really distinguishes the polearms is the first strike. The fact that you could deal damage immediately upon playing the card. If you had everybody in your party with polearms, you could probably cut down one or two of the enemy cards before they even get to do anything, which seems pretty good. We would really need to see a decent axe and a decent comparable essence polearm next to each other to get a good sense of whether the first strike damage is so good that it means that you really want polearms over axes all the time. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is going to depend on the numbers balance. And then as far as ranged weapons go, the bows have poor speed and poor damage, but you get to pick your targets, which obviously lets you grab high damage but low health characters. We haven't actually seen a huge amount of that. It has so far been pretty frequently the case that the character who's good at dealing the damage also has a lot of that color of health, but that may not be true as we go on to higher and higher level challenges. Wands are slow, but they have weird skills. And then thrown spears have first strike, right? I'm remembering that correctly. Here, this is how I want to do it. Yes, thrown spear, javelins and stuff still have first strike. That seems pretty good. The limited aiming capability, I think, is offset by that pretty strongly. And again, you know, these are preliminary thoughts. We're going to feel these out as we go on and fight more difficult opponents. But my feeling is that for as far as melee weapons go, you probably want either spears or axes most of the time. And like if you have a guy whose job it is to stand in front of people and absorb damage, him having a sword and a shield is probably good. And then on the ranged weapons, I kind of like the javelins more than everything else. But, like I said, I'm probably going to focus on armor for now. Let me know in the comments, by the way. Part of the reason I said all that is so that people can share their own thoughts in the comments. I've been getting a lot of very helpful feedback and some less helpful feedback. You know, when you're writing a thing for public consumption, just like after you've written it, ask yourself, hey, am I being a dick for no reason? Like, is there any benefit at all to the thing I'm typing? Just something to consider. Not for all of you, but for a couple of you. Alright, so let's make some armor. We definitely want to take this skill point. And then I am tempted to go medium armor again. So these leather robes, these are light. This is heavy. So just to give us some kind of idea of what we're talking about in terms of weight classes. I guess we could probably look at that on the crafting menu too, right? So light armor, if we were to build some light armor, we're looking at like 30-ish weight. Some medium armor, which we could make out of gold, which is weird, because gold is not particularly medium weight. We're looking at more like in the hundreds. That's probably related to the types of materials we're using too, right? Yeah, like bone is lighter than metal. And then heavy armor is going to be real heavy. Do not use a suit of armor that is made mostly of gold. That's going to be extremely heavy and not actually that protective. It does really give a lot of shielding now. And even with the armor being made entirely of a wild resource, we still are not even close to hitting the threshold for legendary armor. You really have to find some good stuff to build it out of. We're looking at like 260. If we went to like stone and leather, how much does that bring the weight down? A lot, actually, like a huge amount. Okay, so we're probably thinking in the neighborhood of like 140 pounds for medium armor. So how do people's carrying capacities compare to that? Byaklava could wear some heavy stuff. Bratimir is in light armor and probably has to stay in light armor. Myslov, unsurprisingly, can wear whatever he wants. So we do need some strength on people just to make sure that we can actually wear decent enough armor for it to actually be effective. But I think we're going to have to take points in light armor for some of our people. Alright. We could go to like 1-star light armor and... Here we go. 1-star light armor and 1-star medium, maybe? I don't think we actually want to take... So few of us can use heavy armor. It's probably not worth spending points on. So if we do this, we'll gain the ability to use a little bit more leather in the primary slot and wood in the secondary slot. If we pick up medium, we'll gain the ability to use metal in the secondary slot, which is actually very helpful, because our metal is way better than our other materials. So we can make it entirely out of metal then. Yeah, that's not bad. Alright, let's do like this, and... maybe I go to 2 stars on both? I mean, if we're going to make armor, we should try to make the best armor possible, right? So this won't actually add a material that we'll want to use, but it will give us an additional bunch of essence. Yeah, we'll buff up the medium armor, and then we'll spend some more advancement points on light armor. And then we'll worry about weapons. Because like I said, I feel like the weapons we have now are fine. They're totally okay. So, if we did armor made entirely of gold, 29 points of shielding, or this is about what we were looking at last time, right? We don't have a good source of improved leather or improved wood. If we did, though... okay, the weight difference isn't that huge. We might have to redesign some things and make sure to take some points of strength on some people in order to make sure we can actually wear all this stuff. So at 143, who would benefit from that? It is better than Myslav's armor. He can definitely wear it. Malena could wear some medium armor at that weight. Jasia could. We're gonna have to get Boromir, or Bratomir, either some lighter equipment or some strength. But a lot of us would be in the medium armor then. Then we need light armor for Yuzia and Bratomir, and really just Luzia and Bratomir. And Migo, I guess. Migo doesn't currently have any armor on, but he could. Alright, well, I'm not going to build just yet, because some of our builders are engaged in researching, and we do need to get this research done. So for right now, let's just keep gathering. Food, probably. Yeah, we've run ourselves pretty low on fruit. We've cooked all of our fruit. We have a reasonable amount of most of our stuff. I'd like to get some more jam, but we're going to need more fruit to do that. So I guess just really focus on fruit. So I'm thinking that, despite the fact that we have not yet seen any Lightbringers, it is reasonable to guess that there are Lightbringer villages on our landmass somewhere. So I think as we head out to explore and look for new materials and potentially like terrain artifacts and stuff, we need to be aware of the fact that we might run into Lightbringer parties. We are definitely just increasing Guardian Demon. On Biaklava, Wisdom seems like a pretty good way to go. Is your weapon... Yeah, your weapon attack is increasing with Wisdom too. That's just excellent. And Zosha doesn't really need additional carry weight. So let's take some crafting. And if I'm remembering correctly, crafting is more increased by Wisdom than in Intelligence, yeah. Okay, this is the turn that they'll finish the research. That gets us one more point that we put into light armor crafting. And then let's make some okay armor for the moment. Make a couple of suits of like good medium armor. Honestly, we might not even need to make more light armor. Not yet, anyway. So first let's talk about big heavy gold armor. 29 points of physical shielding. Like, let's make one suit of this, at the very least, for the warrior. Pull the best builders onto that. Can we get this down to 2? Oh yeah, we can... No, we cannot. Not quite. Okay, that's fine. The witch has other talents. So we're 13 research away from the next advancement, and that's the one we need to make the good light armor. So yeah, we're just going to have to go out and find some more stuff. Well, we're going to spend quite a bit of gold, so we can put her on gold gathering. Or she could start cooking, actually. Let's do that. We're gathering berries pretty quickly here. She can make jam. Let's make ourselves some, come on, masterwork gold armor. Okay, not quite masterwork. It's totally fine. And it's actually considerably lighter than the armor he was wearing. Alright, and then we want, like, 1, 2, 3, 4 suits that are multicolored, probably? Myslav is unlikely to be actually played onto the field in any challenge that isn't red, but I think everybody else might be. So we need big, heavy, medium armor, elemental armor. Okay, and this time it actually would help us to have the extra. It won't take any turns off the first one. But the overflow will be meaningful. Alright, let's just hang out and watch those armor suits pile up. Actually, I should remember to equip them as soon as they're done, just in case we get a challenge all of a sudden. Sometimes you do just get a random challenge occurring at the end of the turn. For you... And I guess to that end, I should probably be a little bit more judicious about who actually gets the armor. I'll level up on Jasia. 2 wits is definitely interesting. It doesn't help with the thing she's actually here to do, which is gather, but... And she has a spider. Yeah, she really doesn't need the wits, I don't think. She's not really a challenge character. Like, we should probably be putting the armor on characters who are a little bit more likely to get placed into challenges first. I will say, I feel like we've come up a lot shorter on advancement points this game than we did last game, in part because we have not had access to a lot of, we've not had access to any terrain artifacts. Lena's probably not going to get played. One thing we should probably do, and it's not going to be this game, but one thing we should probably do in a game sometime soon is pick up like the base levels of a bunch of different weapons and actually craft comparable essence weapons of every class so that we can compare them and get some math on which to base our decisions in the future. Okay. And those are all like totally fine. They're all totally fine suits of armor. So Yuzia doesn't have any armor on at all, but Bratimir at least has something. And they're both in positions where we're unlikely to see them in the front row of combat, so probably their armorlessness doesn't affect things too much. I think at this point we can send out an expedition. So what does that look like? It's like Bratimir, Yuzia, and they're both kind of good at everything. Yuzia's not that great at red challenges, I guess. So maybe we want to send Myslav with them as well. Or you're actually pretty good at crafting and gathering now. Yeah, we'll send Myslav with them as well. Because like when we go to clear the beehive, I'm sure it's just going to be a straight red challenge. We'll take half of the food. We will take some wood. Doesn't have to be a lot. That's probably way more than we need. And then we can take some stuff with us, but actually, I believe it is the case that the scavenger camp, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I don't know, maybe not. I was gonna say I think it's close enough that we can use the town's inventory when trading. Let's bring like all of our extra weapons and this suit of armor we're not going to use anymore. No, I feel like we were getting the camp's inventory during trade with them. Yeah, maybe. Let's just head over this way and find out. We can have a quick chat with them, and then we can go and blow up the beehive. Okay, trade. Yeah, we totally get the camp's inventory. Okay. So do they have any compelling light armor? It has to be pretty light to be usable for our 2 people who need it. They don't really have anything that's blowing my mind here. They have meat and spices. They have some mushrooms, which we don't have natural access to. They have an okay gathering tool. We should probably take all their coal. We should probably take all their coal every time we come over here. It's pretty easy for us to generate that amount of trade value. We'll just like take... Actually, we're about to get some... We're about to be able to get some herbs. We should take things that we don't have a lot of sources of around here. Like just normal meat and mushrooms. Put this back and trade them just some materials instead. What do we not really need? Wood, probably. Fish. We have way more fish than we need. There we go. So I'm not clear how we know whose inventory that stuff goes in. Okay, it went in the party's inventory, probably because the party initiated trade, even though we used items from the town's inventory in the trade. Maybe. That totally might be why that worked that way. Okay, so this is the beehive. What is this? I don't want to accidentally interact with a thing I shouldn't be interacting with. So that's where the dwarf's daughters might be. This is for our divine path quest. Okay, well I'm definitely interested. We'll have to interact with it next turn though. And then while we're here, we can just gather some herbs and not quite anything else in a single turn. But we need these for cooking. You know what I didn't do is make sure that everybody is on reasonable gathering stuff after we pulled people out of town. Like, we should definitely always be gathering fish. We should be gathering fruit. I guess we have enough people on fruit that we're getting it every turn. We could push the wood supply back up a little bit. And also, you know, sometimes you gotta build a thing out of bone. It hasn't happened a lot, but there probably are some things we're going to need it for. Okay. You come to the place the crow sent you to unlock your chosen path. It is a hillside with a small pine grove atop it. It seemed like nothing was here at first, but you feel the pull of the divine, and as you follow it, you notice a gathering of hooded figures performing a ritual. We always have the option of attempting to kill everybody, which I really appreciate. I don't know that we're going to take this, but I appreciate that it's there. These are witches performing a burial for a sister, but it is not a ritual you recognize. Approach and greet them. One of the witches steps aside and approaches you calmly. She takes off her hood and speaks. Ah, sister of the young gods, welcome. May I ask how you broke our protection veil? I didn't even realize there was one. I saw a crow in a dream, and it just guided me here. A crow, you say? So she decides to meddle after all. Interesting. We are the Viedma coterie, and we walk the path of Velis, even though his name is but a whisper now. We perform the rite of passage into his care for our fallen. When he returns, she will await him. Naya is the mistress of death. Who is this Velis they speak of? A demon? She is now. She was ever a servant of death, and two others stood above her in the past. Velis is not a harbinger of death. He is gatekeeper and master of the underworlds. If you truly walk the chosen path, you will sacrifice something precious to us. Only then will we share the enlightenment you seek here. Offer them the entire spirit or mental essence of one person? That seems, strong. Wow, I'm certainly not bleeding someone entirely for the witches. Let's, ask some more questions here. Why do you worship a forgotten god? He gave magic to the mortals, of course. Thus we honor him still. But Marovit is the keeper of magic. Horus also masters this domain. Are they related to this Velis? They are now, but they were not so in the past. The gods are not stagnant. They change as we do, as the world does. Okay, so what happened to Velis? We do not know. It is as if a shroud was cast over all our minds. We know our father, yet we do not. And your gods seem similarly afflicted, disjointed from their full selves. Thus you as their chosen are equally broken, or at least unwhole. Okay? So, if we want the whole story, we have to sacrifice something precious to them. Or we could challenge the witch to a spiritual duel in line with ancient traditions. I don't think we can do this. I don't think we can do a level 6 challenge, but I'm hoping that when we decline and leave... Yeah, okay, it's still there. So we'll just do that at some point in the future. I don't think we're ready for a difficulty 6 challenge here. Alright, you approach the beehive the Slavians asked you to clear out. Well, let's set up traps to thin the swarm. Make use of our hunter abilities. Total defeat, really? Could we maybe do better? I'm surprised by total defeat. Yeah, that doesn't... The other cards must be a lot better, I'm guessing. So my Slav has poison throwing dagger at least, but he's pretty close to useless here. Let's put down Bratimir. I would really love to hit that thing. And then I have to put you up front if I want to use you. Well, it is just a concept challenge, remember, so this damage is not real. Yeah, I have to say I'm a little surprised by the outcome that we're being told we might see. And we can still put Myslav up as a blocker. Like, he has a fair amount of yellow health. He can absorb some hits. Although, unfortunately, they have targeted attacks, so we can't really use him as a blocker. We have no idea where they're going to hit. So we have two. I guess we put down the witch again. And then we do use him as a blocker because I only have one action point left. And he can do his poison throwing dagger because it's slightly better than his other attack. So yeah, they're not, like, amazing, but they are numerous. Numerous enough for it to potentially be an issue. On poison throwing dagger. Huh, interesting that he attacked the other person, the front row here instead of attacking there. I'm not sure why that happened that way. It is a little bit of a shame that we do just barely not enough damage to kill these things in one hit. Okay, well, I do believe we've got it now. She is super fast. And we just need another attack that goes off before 9.5. Which is to say, another outmaneuver. Okay, I think we're good now, right? Mass Lullaby is not going to be necessary. I don't know, this doesn't matter. Put people down. Okay, I don't know why outmaneuver is completely silent, but we did it. You find the right spots to mark your territory with a strong predatory odor. The bees soon buzz away and leave their honey behind. And hey, we didn't have to kill any bees, which seems like a good thing here, because we know that the bees are their own faction. Well, I'll be damned, you chased them away. Wonderful. Here, have this dog. Have this extremely good boy. So we actually gained faction with the stingers by not killing the bees. That's wonderful. And then the question is, do we think we could do this? Let's make camp here. We can just barely cannot pull any sandstone in a single turn. Well, then I don't think we bother making camp. Let's not spend the wood. Oh, hey, terrain artifact. That's good to know about. So, hard to imagine taking brute force. Let's just keep taking the throwing dagger, and on you, mysticism is a total no-brainer. Yeah, let's go for this. We're reasonably good at most kinds of challenges. Find the cave where Anya and Eva may be hiding, according to their grandfather Bodan. Okay, so they're huddling over some rocks and singing in Dwarvish again. We've seen this version of this event. It's treating us like babies. Our dwarf family says we can't be dwarf wives because we can't sing the song. There's one thing Rusalkas could do, it's sing. I think we should try to be a little bit more caring than this. Okay. Being a dwarf wife is very important. We want to prove we can do it, and singing to these stones apparently does that. Okay, if we sing to them, they'll grow into real live ones, you know? Well, what do you think? Bodan said he wanted them to come back home. But if we tell them to keep doing this, and then we go back to him and tell him what they were doing, he might be happy about it. He might find his old heart warmed. No, he really seemed concerned about them. Come on, you gotta come home. You're about to argue with them further when you hear a rhythmic thumping moving this way. Baby trolls, right. Grab the Rusalkas and run. Can we do... difficulty 3 red challenges? Yeah, not all that difficult. You managed to escape the trolls and the girls are in floods of tears. We're sorry, Grandpa's gonna be so mad. We'll go back to him now, we swear. Alright, we saved him 4 research points, not bad. Alright, let's go back to the Slavian town. We can look around a little bit as we're doing it. Okay, random beasts should be extremely easy to defeat with this party. Is it better to use the hunt actions? I'm not even sure. I mean, we know that it's a concept challenge, so we can't take damage. I suppose we should take concept challenges where available. Hey, that's a demon and a rat. What is going on north of that river? Okay, found a source of silver, a couple sources of silver, and some ruins. Alright, we have some exploration to do over here. Is there anything else you guys would like help with? Either we do not have any work for you, or you and your kin are already set on the path to aid us, so they do not have any jobs for us right now. Can we visit the kennels? Okay, a cat to help with mystical matters. And they just want 20 of absolutely anything. Well, I'll tell you what we have is fish. Okay, receive cat, which increases mysticism. Does the witch already have a pet? She does not. Did the cat go in the town's inventory? Yes, it totally did. Huh. Maybe because we only used items from the town's inventory when buying it? Okay, well, we will equip that cat when we get back over there. Alright, let's go check these ruins. We'll get a little bit more sight around here, and then I probably should end the episode at some point. Okay, what else do we see? Well, another ruin. Apparently this island is just lousy with gold. There's gold everywhere. If we wanted to pull up the terrain artifact, how long would it take? Oh, I'm not actually adjacent to it. But those take 800, I think. So our 2 people together are only about 150. It would be like, it would be more turns than I would like. But it's not undoable. One of your people has been acting oddly over the last few days. They seem weak, they sweat more, and sometimes you catch them speaking to themselves. Well, let's observe them to see what's wrong. Yes, a Minoviec. Once again with the Minoviec thing. Alright, demons obey demon lore, let's just trick it. Bozidar gets permanent intelligence increase. We got actually a pretty decent piece of light armor off of that. And then we kill the blob with fire. That has traditionally been the right answer. Okay, destiny for the goblin. I don't know that we actually needed that, but it's worth having. Okay, for you... Let's see, what weapon do we have on her? Well, she does know Ghostly Axe. So maybe we take the point of perception? You get way more gathering from perception than you do from most stats. Yeah. Okay, hidden among the fog and shrubbery, you discover ancient ruins before you. You are not the first to arrive. What exactly is it? Scavengers, a rugged, scruffy lot, pillaging what they can from the ruins. Well, let's just run them off without killing them. Victory with serious injuries, really? Hold on, we gotta be able to do better than that. Okay, I think we definitely want to lead with random blasts. I wanted to try to do this without murdering them. Maybe that was a mistake, because this group is pretty good at red challenges, like now with Myslav's armor and everything. We don't really have a good yellow tank. Myslav is actually the weakest yellow character. Okay, so 19 health with 9 damage. And we certainly have a numbers advantage on them. I think I'm just gonna pass and play random blasts again. Oh, well, that hammer blow sucks. I should have been thinking about that. So do I want to play Bratomir again just to limit the amount of additional damage the witch is going to take? It's so much more damage to play the witch again. She won't be the slowest thing on the table, but she'll be close. And actually that wolf showing off will really screw things up for her. We could put Myslav out to absorb the hammer blow. Yeah, actually, if we put Myslav here, that takes the hammer blow from hitting these 3 to hitting these 2, which is way more acceptable. And we'll just play outmaneuver over here. They have enough points. Let's see, they played 1, 2, 3, 4 things worth of points. So they have enough points that they could end up playing this character again. Play the Chosen here. Okay. It's not a bad outcome. Yeah, that worked out pretty well, actually. I think we are going to come in way under serious injury. Well done, Myslav. You really showed them who's boss. Okay. We go now. Don't kill us! The scavengers look at you and decide the loot is not worth their lives. I agree with them. Wow. This loot really was not worth their lives. They are not wrong. Can we get this turn? We cannot quite. Because I really do want to get a little bit more vision. Ooh, Shadowbone. So notice, the island is very, very short on wood. We cannot quite gather sandstone in a single turn. We know that. Yeah, alright, we'll just camp here. Recover a little bit of sanity. And then we may as well interact with this ruin before ending. Okay, the ruins you are about to search have undead in them. That's fine. Search the ruins carefully. Oh, it's a difficulty 1 physical challenge. Something tells me we manage. So we got... Okay, I mean, a garbage shield is still a shield. Hard to imagine I don't take perception. Yeah, it's better than an empty offhand, right? How much shielding is it? 6.2 passive with the skill. It's not bad. Oh, we should probably put this dog on somebody? You, I guess? Oh, we have some more trade value. I'm kind of thinking I might have these guys grab the terrain artifact. Because we are just about to hit another point of advancement. One more beyond that will let us... Well, the next point of advancement is what gets us the 2nd star for light armor, right? Because I did put that first one in already. Yeah. I'm not sure why 18.0 of 18.0 is not getting us the thing. Also, you know what? I am going to walk a little further forward. Get a little bit more vision. Okay, so we have a source of malachite. We have a source of shadowbone. Still not another source of wood anywhere. And we can check to the north. But I'm starting to think that this wood really did control where we were able to settle safely. Okay, but now we know where there's a bunch of other stuff in case we need other stuff. We still haven't actually found a good source of stone either. All of the stone has just been sandstone. That is a shame. We cannot gather leather. Okay, I think this is probably where we're gonna call it for today. We are very soon going to have the advancement point necessary to craft good light armor. And then once we have all of our people decently armored, and we're already kind of okay with... we already have kind of okay weapons, maybe we could go back and try to pull something on those Red Ridge guys. My guess is we're only going to get one chance at using the extra options we've set up, so I'm a little leery about doing this before I feel totally ready, but we are a lot of advancement points away from having good weapons for everybody. I don't know. I'll think about it. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, Monday, to see how we handle these Red Ridge bandits. And we'll see you then.